Oh well, I missed that. So I guess we on Uncle Radio. Nigga rusty in the mud.
No song or nothing.
No theme song or nothing just came right in. But
That's how
anyway,
serious it is. Supreme Court doing wild shit, nigga. We look,
hey,
no
we jumping
song.
right into it. We jump right into it. Let's talk about first of all. Let's talk about what the Supreme Court is doing. Tell them what's going on, Quincy. Tell them what's
Oh
happening.
man. So basically they rolling back on Roe v. Wade. Um, they've been after this for years. They've been plotting and been after this for years. Um, and you know, I've harped on not just only paying attention to presidential elections, uh, understanding the ramifications of your vote or not voting, and because that's the president nominate the judge, but then you got to have a Senate. The Senate is who confirm the judge. Like all this works hand in hand. So if you take any election off, if you just going to vote for the president and don't vote for the Senate, or you vote for the Senate, don't vote for president, or whatever, and you're not paying attention to what they're actually saying, this how we got here. If you go back to, I was looking at an interview of Marco Rubio years ago. He actually said, like, once we get the Supreme Court that we want, we're going after Roe v. Wade, and that's exactly what they did. And it goes. I'll be honest. It goes back to Obama. Let me tell you something, man. Obama being elected struck a nerve and a panic in white America like no other. If I just go back and look at when all this shit really took off, it was after Obama was elected. They didn't touch voting rights since 1965. Obama was elected 2013. We right back to 1965. Like so, and what they have figured out how to be the minority and still get what you want. Yep. And that's because they understand the system.
Yep.
You can have a president, but we got the Supreme Court.
Yep. So we can make all the federal laws that we want.
Yeah, and this is one of the worst I told you so's I've ever wanted to say. This is not some shit I'm proud of, not some shit I'm happy about, but I was telling people until I was blue in the face. 2016 was much bigger than Hillary. 4 to 8 years Hillary, 25 to 30 years of a Donald Trump Supreme Court. And not only, and then we was worried about one seat. He ended up getting 3.
Yep.
5 of the 9 justices was appointed by Bush and Trump. Bush 2, Trump 3, and guess what they both have in common?
They won by they didn't win the popular vote.
They both lost the popular vote.
Yep.
I said Bush beat John Kerry, but he originally against Gore. I mean, actually, if you look at it, in the last 25, 30 years, only one Republican has won the popular vote. So what happens when you vote in unpopular people? They push unpopular agenda, and you have a Supreme Court that's 70% of the country is for freedom of choice. 70%. 70%. And they really don't give a fuck.
So let me ask you this. With knowing that it's 70% of the country is against this, do you think they are measuring the backlash that will now come in the midterms by doing this? Or do you think they feel like we don't care, we'll be all right and pick up the seats no matter what?
Well, see, I think that's why they mad about the leaks, because a lot of these primary elections are coming in June. So I think they was going to wait until after a lot of those primary elections, because I think some guy that was for said something about, like, if his daughter got raped, she could just lay there and something like that. He lost last night.
Yeah.
So the backlash is already, so I think that's why they were so mad about the leak, because they wanted to wait. They was going to be strategic. But I tell you the truth, I don't think they were going to wait till June. I think they was going to wait till after November.
Yeah.
To release that shit, and then when everybody didn't, now you got your Republican House and your Republican Senate, they gonna try to impeach Biden for whatever, and now you can't really do anything about it. And I think that's why they so focused on the leaks and not focus on that they actually taking away women choices of their bodies after they just bitched and screamed about freedom of choice in their body about the damn vaccine
and wearing masks.
Like, and it's crazy how Supreme Court, they can't rule on whether or not you wear a mask or a vaccine during a damn pandemic in the last 100 years. But you can definitely tell a woman that after 6 weeks or whatever, or you no longer have the right to decide whether or not you want to keep a child, whether it came from rape or your life is on the line. And some people have asked, what's like the ramifications of this? We already know how like we have a unfair justice system. I'm afraid, some young black girl in Alabama, Mississippi somewhere might have a miscarriage and end up getting a bad charge because they think she tried to abort her baby when it was just a miscarriage. And
also let's talk about how this affects black women, because black women have the highest mortality rate when it comes to birth. And
that's why I brought up Alabama, because that's what that shit really is. Go ahead.
So this is going to exacerbate that situation. But hey, before we go further, I want to put the blame where it lies. Because at first I wanted to come on here and talk about all the people with their little cute Jill Stein votes. You know what I'm saying? Their cute little Bernie write-in votes. Because they didn't want to vote for Hillary. But that wasn't the real issue. Because I'm gonna tell you, I'm not laying this at the feet of black folks. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because before this conversation, I wanted to make sure I had the numbers. I want to make sure I do the research to see, Quincy, where the blame lies for where we are right now. So it ain't black men, because black men, 81% voted for Hillary, 14% voted for Trump. Black women, 98% voted for Hillary. So this ain't on black men or black women. But white women who have the biggest electorate votes went 45%, 47%. So that means almost half of the white women in the country voted for Donald Trump. Well, half the white women in the country who voted, let's say that to be precise, half of the white women in the country that voted for Donald Trump, and they are a bigger electorate even than white men. White women have 41% of the electorate. White men have 33%. So guess who this is on, Quincy?
White women.
The women who's wearing them pink hats and shit out there marching a couple days after.
The ones that's pissed off the most, getting their ass beat and going to jail.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. But I will say this though, as far as black folks, I would say if you in a swing state, get your ass out there and vote, because your vote also was the ones that made a difference in Wisconsin, Milwaukee area, Michigan, Detroit area. Those are two places
Georgia.
Trump won. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Trump won. You remember Trump won Wisconsin, Michigan, Philadelphia, North Carolina. I don't really, well, North Carolina, yeah, you can say, and then I don't like to consider Florida like this. I don't even know what the fuck to do.
Florida's literally hell in a handbasket right now. Man,
but if you look at who made a difference this past election, it was the blacks in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Biden won. It was the blacks in Detroit. So if you're in a swing state, or even Georgia, because Trump had beat Georgia.
Yeah.
But it's like, a couple places woke up. So don't fall asleep in those swing states. If you're in California, I think you still should vote no matter what. But it seems like Republicans throwing a white flag in California. But if you're in one of those swing states, don't fuck around.
Hey, real quick, I want to give a shout out to Portia Thompson, who's watching, because she had a great point on one of my posts. She said the gag is they're not trying to overturn abortion laws for everyone. They can care less about the blue states if they decide to keep their laws. She said they just want the red states to have stricter laws around it so that white people can produce more children. They're trying to do anything in their power to stop cultural and racial majority shift that is set to happen over the next 40 years. They don't want to become the minority or the threat of losing their power. So it really is a White Lives Matter initiative. And I think that's something to think about.
No, we finna go back to the Confederate era. We finna have separate states. Look, if this what you better go to that state. If you want to live a certain way, you go live in that state.
Yeah.
Because I haven't read all 96 pages of it, but let me tell you something. The thing that stuck out, folks, and this the type of shit you better pay attention to. They ruled because abortion wasn't a part of the original Constitution. That's why they're getting rid of it. Well, guess what else not a part of the original Constitution?
Black people voting.
Black people.
Civil rights.
Gays, civil rights.
And that's why this is an issue that we all need to pay attention to, because they will use this as a precedent to change and roll back so many other civil rights things for Black folks. So I just want y'all to really pay attention to that.
I got a list. Black rights, gay rights, women's rights, immigration rights, non-land owner rights. You go down the list.
Biracial marriage.
That's not a part of the Constitution. But you know what else? And I love this response. Somebody had put on Twitter. They said, you know what else not a part of the Constitution? The fucking filibuster. So we need to elect people
that are against the filibuster.
Who are against the filibuster. But yeah, so that to me, that's the thing that stuck out. That the ruling what's the justice name?
Alito, Justice Alito,
was wrongly decided because the Constitution makes no specific mention of abortion rights. Now think about, go look at the Constitution and go look at the shit that's not a part of the regular Constitution that we all trying to fight for.
Exactly.
That we have fought for.
So that's why I want everybody to pay attention to, because like I said, this is a preview of the bigger things to come that they want to change and roll back, because they will use this precedence for voting rights. They will use precedence for civil rights. They'll use it for biracial marriage. Look, like they literally gonna use it. They're gonna go wild.
There's a reason. Look, one thing they understand this system, and they very fucking strategic. There's a reason they went after voting rights first before they came after abortion rights, because they knew there's going to be consequences, especially in their state's portion, to abortion right. But if you can suppress as many votes as you can, maybe the backlash and the consequences won't be as bad as they would have been without those voting rights, with those voting rights legislations. So understand, folks, these motherfuckers are very strategic about what they're doing.
So what the Democrats gonna do, man? Like what can and what would the Democrats do to combat this? Because they're looking bad right now. They're looking real bad right now.
Well, those who are running, I mean, basically you gotta let motherfuckers know this is what's going to happen. Because what do you at this point? The only thing you can do is and I stopped saying that the Democrats had a Senate, because they don't.
Right.
You have 50 Republicans, you got 48 Democrats, and 2 other motherfuckers.
Yep, pretty much.
That's the Senate. But only one Democrat voted for Kavanaugh, Joe Manchin.
Yep.
It was the only Democrat that voted for Kavanaugh. So what you got to do is you got to get more people, and like I said, pay attention to your votes, what these people are saying, and get people who are not for the damn filibuster. You got to get rid of that filibuster, because and you have 48 people who are willing to get rid of it. You just got 2 of them motherfuckers who, like I said, they on their own little deal. And how the system is set up, they got to create another bill, another Roe v. Wade.
Yep.
But the issue is when you vote, you gotta pay attention to later on. Like somebody asked me, would you vote for Biden again? And I was like, yeah, I'll say just based on this one thing and this one thing only. I don't think Clarence Thomas is going to be alive a second Biden term. I think he about 70, 77. It like because pretty much that's pretty much the only way you really gonna flip.
Yep.
The Supreme Court. You gotta get as many years in to where the older Supreme Court justices.
You basically waiting people out.
Hey, I gotta say this though. Ruth fucked up.
Yes. We talked about that though. We talked about that.
I gotta bring it up because she fucked up. I know her family. Look, she should have let Obama pick her replacement. The same thing Breyer allowed Biden to do. She fucked up, and you're paying a steep price for that.
Yep.
Trying to be old and stubborn.
Just keep it 100. Keep it a buck.
Yeah, she fucked up, and unfortunately, that's probably gonna be her legacy for a while. That she fucked up,
especially because it is.
Yeah. Which was one of the things she like championed, like.
Yep.
But Susan Collins is just
she can't be that gullible, bro.
Nah. I think it's a cover. She know what these folks gonna do. I was like, she can't be this gullible. She can't. It's impossible to be this damn gullible. This multiple times. Like you might get me once, but you ain't gonna get me like 4 or 5 times where we could prove that she's been gullible. But you know what crazy the crazy thing about people in the Constitution and all this is that they like to pick and choose, especially with their founding fathers and shit like to say. I have a quote from Thomas Jefferson right here. Thomas Jefferson said, I am not an advocate for frequent changes in the laws and Constitution, but the laws and institutions must go hand in hand with the progress of the human mind, and that becomes more developed and more enlightened as new discoveries made, new truth discovered, and managed opinions changes. With the change of circumstances, institutions must advance also to keep pace with the times. We might as well require a man to wear still the coat which fitted him when as a boy in society, to remain ever under the regime of their ancestors. So even Thomas Jefferson is saying, although he don't like the laws change, but as time, as you get new discoveries and new developments, the laws and things he expected to change. Republicans ain't gonna ever read that shit.
No, and the biggest message I want to get through clear tonight too is 2 things. Local elections matter because now we're seeing with California, who's basically like, we're gonna protect our own rights with our own California Constitution. So local elections matter, which is something we've been screaming since I've started this show. Since I started on Coov, we've been screaming local elections matter. And the second thing, elections have consequences. Elections have consequences because, again, that number, 50% of the white women that voted for Hillary Clinton. Most of that was because they didn't want a woman president. And they wanted, my bad, voted for Trump. They didn't want a female president. And also, they had a problem with Mexicans. You know what I mean? Like, so now this is what you're getting, and now it's affecting them.
Yeah.
Like now it's affecting them, but I hate that it's gonna also affect Black women in the interim. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you know, it's outrage when it affects them. I forgot the numbers, but a lot of white girls have abortions.
Yeah.
Especially in college. And now they might have to travel to California to have an abortion. And like Dame said, you know, I know a couple of people have hit me up and like, hey, why Biden can't be like Gavin Newsom? And I've mentioned this before. That's because the state Senate and House Assembly is not set up the same in DC. They're in the House Assembly in California, out of 100 representatives, Democrats had 80 of the seats. The state Senate, I think you need 30 votes for a bill to pass. No, 25 out of 40. Democrats have like 31 of the 40 seats. And then they have the state Supreme Court as well, which, Jerry Brown, Gavin Newsom, then we let Arnold sneak in too.
Yep.
Out the 7, but Jerry Brown and Gavin Newsom got 5 of the 7. So all these things make a difference, because if you see where they attacked it at first was the states. Those states, Alabama, Mississippi, Florida, Texas, they attacked the statewide, and then while you just paying attention to what Trump doing, what Obama doing, what Biden doing, you only paying attention to those that presidential race, they doing all the other shit up under there.
I would say, and just think about the amount of judges that Trump appointed under him that are lifetime, not just the Supreme Court, at the state level, at the federal level, the amount of appellate judges that he was able to get in. I think it was
over 200.
Over 200 judges that are there for a lifetime because of a Trump election. So I just want to kind of let people understand the ramifications of certain votes when you get stuck on the president, because sometimes the vote is bigger than the president, because I told people, I was like, I think Hillary's trash. I said, but y'all gonna give up Supreme Court seats if Trump gets in there. How many times did I say that, Quincy?
I said, I was like, look, I'm not even, I told people straight up, I voted, and then, the Bernie supporters, the Bernie or nothing, look, that shit was stupid. And look, this is the thing, I voted for Bernie on both elections.
Yeah.
But when it came time to, I had to go with the best candidate, and I had to go with the candidate that I felt that was going to at least try to push some policies that'd be beneficial, and also that Supreme Court seat. So when Hillary, was up, it wasn't about Hillary, because how I saw it was, okay, minimum Hillary going in 4 years, max Hillary going in 8 years. That Supreme Court, the average person is on the Supreme Court for 30 years.
Yep.
And if you look at the people Trump nominated, early 50s, late 40s.
Yep.
Motherfuckers ain't dying no time soon. Racist people don't die.
No.
Right away.
They get their Strom Thurmond on. They be there forever.
They motherfuckers live forever.
They turn into straight liver spot, motherfucker.
Yeah, like something about racism does something to your immune system.
Keeps you alive forever. That hate keeps you going.
Look, I brought this up to white friends, and they agreed. They're like, hey, you ain't lying. All my racist relatives live longer than my relatives that wasn't racist.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. So I just want to, I didn't want to spend a lot of time, but, I just wanted to get on and let people understand, because now we can look back at something that we talked about when Uncouth started and see the ramifications now. And that's why I wanted to talk about it. Hold on, Chan's tapping in. She said, but she was so clearly the best candidate, so voting for her wasn't even lesser two evils. Like people, yeah, I hated that shit.
It was not even close.
It was not even close. And like I said, now we have judges, policies, and everything in line to show it. So I just want people to understand that, elections have consequences and there are ramifications. Also, thanks to California, people in California don't have to worry about a lot of this shit. So that's why I want to make sure I say local elections matter. Speaking of local elections matter, your ballots are coming in. So you're getting your mail-in ballots June 7th. Yeah, June 7th. Vote Eric Strong for sheriff. We got to get Bill in the Wave out of there. He's talking crazier and crazier about black folks. I don't know if y'all peeping his latest interviews, what he's been doing and what he's been saying, but he's basically talking about us as we are all prisoners in a police state. The way he talk about black folks is like we're all criminals. So
hey, he talk about black folks, man. There's some old Daryl Gates shit.
Yeah. So I want y'all to y'all really pay attention and get out there and let people know, one, you can vote for sheriff, and two, vote for Eric Strong for sheriff, because that's somebody that we as a community can hold accountable. Somebody we as a community have a connection to so we could talk to him and get things done and talk about things. That's somebody we can get on the phone and we can actually find out what's going on and try to get things done the way we need it. We could get our community involved. Feeling the way we don't give a damn about our community, and he don't give a damn about putting our cops from our neighborhoods in our communities. So we need to get dude up out of there. You got anything to say before we get out of here, Quincy?
No, just look. Best thing about getting your ballot and mail it in. If you don't know somebody, Google them. Google and put in some of the things you're for, and see what that person view on there. Hey, we got it because although, for example, there's not even a Republican challenging Gavin Newsom, but that don't mean get complacent though. Right. You can't ever get complacent because they don't ever let up. That's what I've been trying to tell people. They don't let up. Trump lost, the motherfucker got mad and got, okay, we could find a way to cheat even more.
Got active.
Exactly. Like they don't give up. And this ain't our parents' Republican Party.
No.
They wouldn't roll with John McCain today. They wouldn't even roll with Ronald Reagan today. This that throwback shit right here. You got to go talk to your grandparents about Goldwater and those cats.
Yeah, straight up.
Like go talk to your grandparents about this Republican Party right here, because this some shit our generation
throwback shit right here.
Yeah. This some old throwback. Go. Like I said, the things they trying to pass, and you got to pay attention to the word. When they say, "Oh, this is not in the original Constitution," think about all the shit that wasn't even cared about in 1776. Because that's what they make decisions based on today. 1776.
If that's their template, it's a lot of folks in trouble.
A lot of folks in trouble.
It's a lot of folks in trouble. Basically, anybody who ain't a white man.
Oh yeah.
Anybody in the country who ain't a white man, you might be in trouble. He said the original recipe Republican, right? Right. Yeah, the original recipe Republican. Hell, I'm still in that. That's what this is, the original recipe Republicans.
Look, but we knew it was like this when we had Stephen Downing, the former deputy chief of LAPD, on the show. And I had asked him, I said, just thinking back historically, all the people who you have seen, who does Donald Trump remind you of? Now, personally, I thought he was going to say Richard Nixon.
Yeah.
He didn't say Richard Nixon. He said your boy, the governor from Alabama, who, I can't think of his name. George Wallace.
George Wallace.
Go look at some of George Wallace speeches.
Yeah. And that's legit original recipe Republicans right there, Christian.
Yeah. And so like the old they taking the old Southern Democrat before
the Dixiecrats.
Yeah, they take it. I mean that's pretty much where we at right now. So, and I'm not here to fear monger and throw all, but like I said, everything that I said, oh, this is where they're going with this, they went there.
Yeah. And
like I said, they went at they didn't touch voting rights. Think about it. They didn't touch voting rights since 1965. Even wait a minute. I want to say in 2007.
Yeah.
When Bush was the president, voting rights was renewed in the Senate 98-0. The only reason why it wasn't 100-0 because 2 senators wasn't there. 98-0, either 2006, 2007, they didn't fuck with voting rights. What changed after 2006, 2007?
The Negroes done figured out how to vote. We got to change something. They got one of the black ones, and that's what happened. That's what happened. Once they realized that we was taking part in this, because the system was fine as long as we wasn't taking part, as long as we wasn't exercising our power, as long as we wasn't utilizing our numbers. And the minute we started doing it, they lost their damn mind and started messing with voter rights. And then even again, you look at what happened with this election when they saw them black counties come in, and then automatically, because black folks was voting, all of a sudden it's voter fraud. Yeah. And then after they couldn't get off with the voter fraud, now it's like they're going to gerrymander, they're going to voter suppression, they're passing bills and laws. Which again, I'm gonna keep saying this till I'm blue in the face. This is why local elections are so important, because people, what they are doing now is they're trying to get Republicans in all these state ran so the Republicans can run the elections and affect the outcome.
Yes.
So it's like, even if we can't gerrymander, because we're going to gerrymander, we're going to suppress the votes, and if that still don't work, we're going to be Republican ran. So when Trump makes the phone call this time, like he did last time, find me 33,000 votes, they'll find him 33,000 votes, because it's not just Republicans they're trying to get, it's Trump Republicans who believe the big lie. So I'll leave it there. I'll leave it on that. Hey, thank everybody for watching. This has been an Uncouth Micro Show. We just wanted to get in, get out, let y'all know, what was happening, what was going on, and just to pay attention, people. Keep your head on the swivel. We out of here.